So you get a new meeting invite titled Workstream Workshop. How does that make you feel? Workshops are meant to be moments to gain alignment and hash out ideas more efficiently. Unfortunately, however, they're often seen as a waste of time. There are a lot of reasons why they're so hated, and I'm here today to reflect on those and give you some tips to make your next meeting more successful. Success to me means you get what you want out of the meeting, and everyone involved feels a part of that success. So my name's Melanie. I'm a product designer here at Klarna. And although I'm responsible for the digital experience of the Klarna users, I also feel it's my job to take care of the daily experience of my Klarna colleagues. So I approach every workshop the same way I would a design project. So I went and spoke to some of you, some Klarnauts, and also took some studies from Miro and found these common complaints. I'm sure many of you have felt these or heard these before, but the core feeling behind most of them is that of wasted time. Now I know. You plan a workshop with the very noble intention of saving time. After months and weeks of desperate Slack threads and roundabout conversations, let's just throw everyone into a room and solve this problem, right? So, workshops can be productive, but if you don't take at least 5 minutes to prep your problem beforehand, you really don't have the right to take an hour of everyone else's day to solve that problem. So, let's see what prep tips you can do to make everyone hate you a little bit less for that meeting invite, and ensure you actually get what you need out of the time. So this is a workshop goal that I encountered recently. There's a lot of ways that we wanted to solve this. Maybe reviewing the backlog, doing a little bit of a brainstorm. But for me, the really important question is, what are the feelings that are driving this problem? The point of this reflection is to pause and identify the real reason why you feel a workshop feels necessary. Taking time to identify the emotional drivers is a way in which you can enter into a more reflective mindset and really focus in on the true purpose that you're trying to get at. A common mistake I see from facilitators is losing track of this purpose and confusing the what of the problem with the why. So, before I put together any workshop agenda, I'll take 5 minutes and just write down all the emotional drivers that I can think of. If I have time, I'll maybe rank or refine them. But the most important thing is just getting them down on paper and reflecting on them. So, once you've considered all these emotional drivers at the start, how do you feel at the end of the meeting? How do we get to this end where all the negative feelings are eliminated? That point of confidence and calm is often reached when deliverables are clearly defined and thoughtfully considered. So the best advice I can give for this is just get specific. The most common complaint I hear at the end of a meeting is, now what? If you only have a vague idea of what you think a workshop will have as an output, just write it down, take a look at it, and see if you can't add just a little bit more detail. The workshop output should be a small milestone along the path to your final solution. But if you don't give everyone a clear idea of that path, then you won't get to where you need to go, and everyone will be frustrated with you along the way. So, if you want to have a list, should it be prioritized? If you're doing sketches, should they be high fidelity, low fidelity? And if you want to do a vision statement, how long should it be? Just take a moment, reflect on it, and write it down. So now you've considered the start and the end. What about the activities of the actual meeting? So another very frustrating thing for me is when I get onto a new meeting, trying to adjust to kind of the context, and I get this blank sticky notes and asked to come up with creative, wonderful ideas out of nothing. So it may seem counterintuitive, but defining a box or clear constraints for your activities can actually spark more out-of-the-box thinking over time. So let's say, for example, I ask you to come up with a brand new cookie recipe. And you can use any ingredient possible. It's going to be amazing. Go. Now, let me ask you that same question, but you only have 2 ingredients. This ingredient constraint relieves you of the initial wave of confusion that comes with thinking about every baking ingredient possible. Now, let's say that you take those 2 ingredients and then add 2 more. Or you can take your colleague's idea and add 2 more to that. By slowly expanding the box over time, you can get to better creative output rather than jumping into pie-in-the-sky thinking right away. The best box is also a time box, which I am slowly hitting now. So these are some of the things that have helped me become a better facilitator over the years, and I encourage you to take at least one to try the next time you have the demand or the urge to send out a workshop invite. I know we often feel problem-rich and time-poor, but just taking the time to reflect is what is most important. I ask you, in other words, to just be intentional. Think about your colleagues as users of your workshop experience, and be mindful and thoughtful of what you ask of them. I thank you so much for your time today and for the time taken to listen to all of the amazing talks that we've heard, and I hope to share a whiteboard with you soon.